Good morning. We'll call to session this regular scheduled meeting of the Nicholas County Commission. Today is Wednesday, January 8th, 2025. Before any other business, we do have the nomination of president for the Nicholas County Commission for calendar year 2025. It's no secret I've been president for multiple years now. Still willing, capable, and always excited to take the position, but I would also gladly support if another commissioner would like to take their turn this year.
I'm good. I'll make a motion that Craig Chapman take over for 2025 year.
Okay, that motion is on the floor. Is there any other nominations? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against, the motion does carry. Carry the gavel with great weight. Thank you. Yeah, okay. Here, I'll set you to the side.
Okay, bear with me. It's like a child in learning. Public comment first. We have anybody who wants to speak?
There was somebody ahead of me that I could not sign.
Did you sign?
Just wondering what are you all trying to do in Nicholas County? I mean, when this ordinance thing is.
For a quick point of order, you need to do the 3-minute time period.
Yeah, and you have a 3-minute time period to comment. Yeah,
Yeah.
Fayette County running this county, Webster Springs running this county. Who's the ordinance people in the back end? Why you know this stuff up? Just like to know, I ain't never heard. It's in the paper here, week before last, or Nicholas County, or Webster County is going to start a building permit process for the whole county. I don't think that's right. And if they get it passed, just like the mortgage law, I'll say now, but they've got the same thing that you all trying to get in Nicholas County. Once that permit stuff passes in Nicholas, Webster County, you all gotta pass it in Nicholas County. You know, there's enough hard people right now with on disability and stuff. You could take all their money. We're paying taxes on, all of our stuff to start with. And now you come up with all this other stuff. I mean, it's gotta stop somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, several years ago, I told a guy about this. Putting houses and stuff, it's a house. Didn't believe it. Well, this has been about 20 years ago. The houses right now, and you know that for a fact, but you're a realtor. Who, us ordinary people, can go out and buy a $200 or $300 million house in West Virginia? We can't. And it's gonna catch you all. It might take several years, but it's gonna catch Nicholas County, where they won't have anybody in here because they can't afford it to be in here. And you might think I'm stupid, but it's coming. May not be in my lifetime. I can maybe it's coming if you all keep this stuff up. That's all I got to say.
thank you, sir. Mrs. Pearson?
At the public meeting that we had down the street here, after you all, well, at the beginning, you combined both ordinances. And I'm assuming, they're separate entities. Okay. But at the end of that meeting, all three of you agreed that you would vote no on the ordinance. I'm asking is both ordinances? Because that's what I understood, that you would be voting no on both ordinances. And that's all I needed to know.
Aye. But we
Can't answer
can't
that
really
until
discuss it till
9:30.
9:30.
Thank you, man. Okay, if one of you guys would like to, no more people for public comment?
That's make a motion to review and waive the reading of the December 18th, 2024 minutes and special meeting minutes from December 30th, 2024 as presented.
Do we have a motion on the floor? Any discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Upon review of the exonerations as presented by the Nicholas County Assessor, I move to approve accordingly.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Opposed? Motion carries.
Upon review of estate and fiduciary matters as presented by the Nicholas County Clerk, move to approve accordingly unless otherwise noted.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Upon submission of budget revisions received from elected officials and department heads, the commission will take appropriate action as deemed necessary.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Upon review of invoices as submitted by various departmental offices, the commission will take the appropriate action as deemed necessary.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Patty, do you have the holiday schedule for 25?
This need to be read out loud. Okay. The holiday schedule for 2025 will be New Year's Day, January 1st. Martin Luther King Day, Monday, January 20th. President's Day, Monday, February 17th. Memorial Day, Monday, May 26th. Juneteenth, Thursday, June 19th. West Virginia Day, Friday, June 20. Independence Day, Friday, July 4th. Labor Day, Monday, September 1. Columbus Day, Monday, October 13th. Veterans Day, Tuesday, November 11. Thanksgiving Day, Thursday and Friday, November 27th and 28th. Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, Wednesday, half day for Christmas Eve on December 24th. Christmas Day, December 25, Thursday. New Year's Eve, Wednesday, half day, December 31. New Year's Day, 2026, Thursday, January 1. Is there a motion on the floor to approve this schedule?
So moved.
There's a motion on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
And same, opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, set the budget deadline for elected officials. Recommendation?
Late in February.
Last Friday or the last day? Okay. Is there a motion on the floor to set the budget deadline for elected officials for February 28th, 2025?
So moved.
There's a motion on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Same sign. Motion carries. It is set for February 28th. Approval for an order. Do we have a motion for the approval of the order in the matter of the payment of salaries and utilities for the year 2025?
So moved.
Well, let's read it.
Do we have the,
Oh,
Yeah.
you have to. Actual order, or do you have all the
Yes,
sizes?
no, yeah, physical.
okay, in this order is an order for payment of the salaries of the county officials and the utilities semi-monthly. Whereas in the intent and desire of the Nicholas County Commission to pay salaries of the county officials and its employees semi-monthly as provided by Chapter 7, Article 7, Section 7 of the West Virginia Code for the calendar year of 2025, and for the payment of rents, water, telephone, and electric bills semi-monthly, and whereas it is hereby ordered and the clerk of the Nicholas County Commission is hereby directed to issue drafts semi-annually, entered into order this date, the 8th of January, 2025.
Make a motion to approve as read.
There's a motion on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay. We have an order for nominating, we probably don't have an order to nominate a commissioner to serve on the Nicholas County Extension Service Committee for calendar 2025. This order in appearing to the County Commission of Nicholas County that the law of the state of West Virginia requires that one member of the county commission be designated and authorized to serve as a member of the Nicholas County Extension Service Committee. And therefore it is hereby ordered to move upon by.
Yeah,
So.
Commissioner
are
Roberts, that's
you
your
on
order.
this
You
now?
want to continue?
Yeah.
I'll make
So-
the motion to approve the order for Commissioner Gary Roberts to serve on the Nicholas County Extension Service Committee for calendar year 2025.
Is there any objections? Motion's on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Mr. Roberts, you will be on that committee. Now, do I fill in?
I can't do one while you do the next.
All right, terms of office, reaffirm, we need to reaffirm appointees to a few boards that they sit on. Reaffirm the county commission member appointee to serve on the NRGRDA, which is the New River Gorge Regional Development Authority. That is presently a board that I sit on. So we need a motion to reaffirm that or pick a new.
Are you willing to continue serving?
Yes.
I've been on there before, Commissioner Roberts. Okay, I'll make a motion to appoint Commissioner Craig Chapman to the NRGRDA for the calendar year 25.
There's a motion on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Reaffirm the commission member appointee to serve on the Nicholas County Community Action Partnership, another board that I sit on and I'm willing to stay.
We'll make the motion to appoint Commissioner Chapman to the Nicholas County Community Partnership, Inc. Board for 2025.
Motion's on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Reaffirm the commission member appointee to serve on the Nicholas County Fire Board. Presently, that is held by Commissioner Cole.
Yes. And I'd like to request if another member would consider serving on that while we have a new employee under that department for a fresh set of eyes to be able to continue improving that program.
So another one. You want out?
I'd like to give a break to,
You'd be okay with that?
Yep.
Can you nominate him?
if that's okay. And I'll still be around. But I think it'd just be good to continue improving that. Make a motion to appoint Commissioner Gary Roberts to the Nicholas County Fire Board 2025.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there any, is all in favor?
Aye.
Any objections? Motion carries. Reaffirm a member of the appointee to serve on the Nicholas County Historic Landmark Commission, Mr. Roberts. Is that yours now?
Yes.
And I'm willing to trade off to
That's what
make
I'm saying.
me equal with anything.
Yep. If you don't mind balling it.
But your pick, not mine.
You wanna make a motion?
Landmark?
Yep.
I'll take it.
Make,
Yeah, I'll make a motion that Commissioner Cole reside in the Historic Landmark Commission for the year 2025.
there's a motion on the floor. That's all in favor.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Motion carries. Reaffirm the commission member appointee to serve on the Nicholas County Wage and Benefit Review Board. Who's there now?
Commissioner Roberts?
You want to stay?
Yep.
Okay, we have a motion of Commissioner Robert stay.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. We are done with those. And now we move to 9:10. Sheriff Evans would like to discuss the Wi-Fi and cell phones for the police cruisers.
Morning, commissioners.
Morning.
We're here to talk about the, like I said, the Wi-Fi, cell phones. So I had an idea that we need to somehow get Wi-Fi in our cruisers. Especially since we got the new filming system with the 911 center and everything. A lot of other agencies are going to that. And so we just started talking around about how we're going to do that. So we got a hold of all three agencies in our area, in our county, AT&T, US Solar, and T-Mobile. And the chief has quotes from each one of those. And, I don't know all the lingo like Aaron will, but him and the chief can probably explain it to you better than I can of what we found out. So I'll let him take over now.
So just looking outside the box, I've never dealt with T-Mobile, and was messing around on the internet and came across that they had government deals, and sent an email feeler out, and a regional fellow contacted me, and was a wealth of knowledge. I learned a lot of stuff that I did not know. But we got talking to him and corresponding through emails, and he has been absolutely fantastic. We've had several conference calls with him. After that, so we got the thing that's, I'm on AT&T FirstNet, and some of the guys is too. And I'm been real impressed with it, to be honest. But I said, let's go ahead and just look and get quotes from all of our carriers here. So that's what we did. But just looking in a nutshell, and like I said, Aaron can explain these logistics a lot better. He was on these conference calls of how this would work. It's what you're seeing is 3 quotes from the 3 carriers that we have here.
The thing that I like about T-Mobile is that they're linking up with Starlink. So if you're in an area that you wouldn't have cell phone service, you could hit the satellite and at least text the 911 center. Like, so if we're down in Birch River, which we don't have hardly any cell phone service down here, we're down in the Belleville area, you could actually, if you can see sky, then you can text to the 911 center and get back information, whatever you need to do. And if I don't think I'm wrong on this, but I think they're testing more with Starlink right now. They just got the texting mode down, but they're going to be doing audio and Wi-Fi through Starlink in the near future.
Yes, they tested the text during the storms down south. They went live with it with all the first responders and had good success with it where there wasn't cell phone coverage, but during the testing stages for the remainder still. But that's something I remember with that. I didn't even know that. And,
So basically get down there where they had all the hurricane come through and put out towers and everything, so they could still communicate because they communicate through Starlink.
well, one other thing I probably should have printed out, but I did not. But if you like, you can look it up. But I wasn't real familiar with the coverage map with T-Mobile, but when you pull it up and look at it in our area, they have the best coverage as anybody. And one other thing that they did tell us is they have the works of putting 2 towers down 39 in the next couple of years that they're going to get up as well with that Starlink. So by looking at the pricing, say Aaron can talk a little more about the lingo of how that would work, but by looking at the pricing, T-Mobile has the absolute best pricing.
Which price are we looking at for
So
T-Mobile?
yes, you're looking here. You can see the 5G USB dongle is marked out.
Yeah, so the 9.
That's we're not going to consider that. Aaron's
Okay.
had experience with it, and they've had a lot of problems with it.
Okay.
What we would be looking at is the Connecting Heroes Advanced plan with T-Mobile probably. They have the T Priority Advanced, but the big difference of that is you're as a first responder, you're always on the priority tower, but in an event with an advanced, if there's a catastrophic event and there's 1,000 first responders on it, they get sole priority all the time. Like that's all they
Like
do.
what
There's a
AT&T
band.
card.
Well, it
So they have their own.
doesn't even compare to AT&T because they have multiple bands. AT&T just has one.
Gotcha.
And they have multiple bands, but like the regional fellow explained to me, that's the priority plan is probably not gonna help us a whole lot because it's geared more to big cities. You know, like say the bridge collapse in Baltimore, where you have just so many first responders on there and, you know, here, I mean, how many we're gonna have on there one time, maybe 100. I mean, I
Right.
don't know. I mean, but it's not gonna be at that realm. So he kind of felt like that plan probably just really wouldn't benefit us unless we just want to go with it. But he believes that the Helios advanced plan will be fine. And like I say, Aaron can probably explain more of that and more about that because he was in the conference calls, but that's what I gathered. But you can see the pricing, 28.56. I mean, it's blowing the ovens out of the water, but
And the way this works is that you get a iPhone 15, you need the hotspot in your vehicle. That way, this another good advantage of this is that we don't have to buy digital cameras anymore. Because these cameras, you know how iPhone cameras are anyways, they're top of the line. So you have that, you have,
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but when you're talking about digital, you're talking about body cameras?
no,
Okay.
I'm talking about like doing the
Crash
taking
scenes.
pictures of
Oh,
crashes.
okay,
Yeah,
just for
yeah,
evidence and stuff
criminal
like that.
investigation.
Okay,
So some guys now
Sure.
use their cell phone
right.
and then send it to their email and stuff, but actually technically that could be, you can ask the lawyers, they could subpoena their
Yes.
personal cell phone and use it in court. So it's just better if we just have one device, it's department used only. And how I got onto this is because I'm wanting to do in-car cameras for the officers, and with Axon, you have to have Wi-Fi in the cruisers to have a in-car camera. So we can't do that until we get this lined out. So
So you don't have cameras in the cars now?
we have some watch guard cameras. We only got like 5.
You're talking like internal in the
but
cab.
Yeah,
we
Oh,
went
so
away.
not what's in the dash, like,
What's in the dash, we've only got like 5.
We
Wait,
went
even-
away, we're going away from the watch guard and going to the Axon method because the Axon tasers and the body cams, that all coordinates together. So it just makes sense to go with the in-car cameras that coordinates with all that. And the reason we went away with watch guard is because they require a hard drive on site, and you got to purchase from them, which is a computer. And that one is at the end of its life, and they want us to purchase a new one. Well, Axon uses a cloud, so there's no equipment, and it just goes through the internet through software, and uploads to the cloud, and that's how we access it. So there's no equipment that we have to buy, and that's why we when we went to Axon
You kind of
body
just
cam,
don't shut it, but just kind of.
when we went to Axon
Thank you,
body
Ray.
cams, that's why we stepped away from the watch guard, and watch guard was higher priced.
The only question, I'll let Commissioner Roberts, because he's the phone guy, the tech guy. But AT&T is the first one. US Cellular is the second one. They have a presence in the county. So does T-Mobile have an office or a location so you'd have access to people? You know what I'm saying?
It's up
Issues.
The side workforce.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I've never been on there, but yeah, I do know, I have seen it up there. And
What there was
you know,
something.
go ahead. Any other questions you might have on the regional contact for T-Mobile? Sent me an email last night, and he said that he'd be available for a conference call to answer any questions or speak with anybody. AT&T, I just haven't had a lot of luck with them lately, and trying to get this quote from them was like pulling teeth.
Right.
But Rashanda at US Cellular, she has done fantastic in the past with, getting us quotes on that stuff that we got them before in the past. But just, trying to compare apples to apples here, it just looks like T-Mobile is the best choice that would function the best with what we're going to be doing.
And whatever we do, we don't want to do something like that's been done in the past where we get the best deal, but it's not the best service, really, because we've had over my whole career, we bought radios,
Mhm.
and I'm not talking about the last set of radios. I'm talking about radios that me and Billy was working the midnight shift together back a long time ago. That was nice radios. They just couldn't get out. I mean, we've been over in Honey Falls asking for directions to a domestic and you couldn't get out. So whatever Wi-Fi we go with, and reason why we're leaning more toward T-Mobile is because I got T-Mobile and some of our other guys got T-Mobile and they're out in the county and they have better service with T-Mobile than they do and with US Cellular or
Right.
AT&T.
What's prudent?
So,
That's what I use. I mean, I'm live streaming all the time, so.
so that's just what
Yeah, so you're real familiar with how to do, yeah.
Yeah, because he always says, I'm gonna drop off for a minute, but just wait with me.
So
Um,
when you get Starlink gets involved, you never be able to
Right.
get out there.
Yeah, man.
yeah, go out
I think,
In the
I'm
wild.
understanding, I think that Starlink will be a free service for first responders and get a little bit available for everyone else, but there'll probably be some other fee or something, the way I'm understanding it. But I think he said it was maybe like 8 or 9 months out, maybe.
Yeah, third quarter, 2025, they should be,
Is that first responders or the public?
that's the whole entire system is gonna go live.
So first responders, you got it now.
Got the texting.
We got texting.
Okay, so they're building it out. Okay, I see. what you're saying.
With Starlink, right at the moment, if you have an iPhone 15 or higher,
Mhm.
you can actually turn on the testing of satellite texting. There's an option in there if you have version 17.5 or higher. You can turn it on and try it yourself. It's available for iPhone users right now. But whenever it goes live, it's going to be live for everyone that has the T-Mobile. I think he told me what band it was, band 6 or band 1900. Is that they're actually using the T-Mobile PCS 1900 bands is what they're going to go live on for their data.
Now, will the other companies, will they eventually go into Starlink too? Because that's a private company too, right?
So Starlink is a private company. Starlink is only partnering with T-Mobile right now. From the questions that I asked with the acquisition of US Cellular with T-Mobile, I would say the every functionality that we have today with T-Mobile by Q3, we're going to have with US Cellular if the acquisition completely goes through.
Yeah.
I
That's a good
I
point.
did ask that question when I was talking to the rep from T-Mobile, and he said it looks like there may be a merger, but it's a ways out, but he didn't really elaborate on that. But, neither here nor there, I don't think that would affect coverage either way, whether, Joe go to somebody else, it would be US Cellular or something. I don't think that would change. Maybe just they would get better, but maybe like I said, just looking at the pricing, I mean, maybe it's really close to the T-Mobile pricing, which really surprised me.
You've already kind of answered my question, but you said iPhone 15 and up is eligible for this.
Mhm.
Is there a reason why it was 15? Because didn't they come out with a new one,
16.
16? But 15 suitable and it'll be
That's
around for
whatever
a while. It'll last the guys for a while.
I think the 16 will be able to do that as well, because what it does, it has to do with the chipset they have in that phone
Mhm.
that's compatible with that, is what I've understood. But if you're gonna get a 16, you're gonna pay money for it.
Right now,
These,
we get that for free.
right now they have these.
I see. Okay, there's the hook.
There's a deal.
Okay,
And that's the
absolutely.
thing, you
Hey,
can see, there's a charge for the phones with AT&T. I don't think there is a charge with, there's not a charge with the phones with USS. And that's the promotion that T-Mobile is running right now too, as well. There's no charge for the phone if you sign up on their plan.
have they talked about, is it contractual or can be canceled any time? Is there a price guarantee
So-
for so long?
So I kind of kicked around with him a little bit about that. It wasn't,
Mhm.
but he got it approved that if we want, that they would do 30 days, no questions asked, you can cut them off. But after that, like it's pretty standard. I think with all of them, it's a 3-year deal.
Okay.
That you'll sign, whether it's AT&T, USL, or T-Mobile. It's kind of the standard. They do 36
Well,
months.
yeah, they're giving you a phone for free, so I
But,
understand.
I was kind of being fishy with him about it, because I told him we was getting other quotes, and he said, "Let me see if I can get my manager approved." you know, like 30-day trial and make sure you guys gonna like it and all that. And he messaged me back and said it was, you know, it was a go on that. I think. Can't see there being any issues, like say.
And how long
Commissioner
are
Roberts has,
the
it. He
prices
knows the
good?
coverage and how it works and. Like I said, I'm not familiar with it. I'm just looking at the map, but just looking at the map, I mean. I've tested AT&T and US cell phones and gotten donors and taken them all over the county and they're pretty comparable as far as where you can get out. The T-Mobile I've not done well with, because I'm just not familiar with it, but I mean, that's just my experience.
And the prices would be good for 3 years?
Yes.
Will this be a rollout all at once? In other words, will they have all the things in stock and do it like, the reason I'm saying that it stretches out for 2 months and you don't have the last guys on.
T-Mobile was this deal that they were promoting end of December 31st. We didn't get to you guys before then, so they extended it out to the end.
That's
of
just one
January.
question.
Good for us.
To make the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they
And then
saw
30
it
if-
25.
if-
We did get them. to-
Decide on them, you got 30 days to test it after that. So the end of February is the deadline. Stay on that. Gary, anything?
Just a couple. So, I mean, we could see that AT&T's out. That's going to cost us an extra $3,600 a year. You answered my questions. We're looking apples to apples on the I-15s. One thing that I have saw with T-Mobile, good and bad, is, you know, you'll have connectivity to the tower, but you won't have, in other words, I'm talking to the tower, but there's no bandwidth on that. So I'd be curious to know what their bandwidth is. And if we're rolling back to 3G, once we exceed our capacity, if we do that, what allocation, how much that bandwidth do they have allocated per tower?
Yeah, good question.
Because you got 3G, 4G,
Very
LTE, and
good.
5G. You're really rolling back to probably a
Yep.
throughput that's not,
So I asked the exact same question.
Right.
And I asked them if they was just shutting off a band, shutting off quality service or turning on some sort of, throttling. And he basically said that they just turn off the priority bid, which is their 3G style, which whatever they said 3G, I was like, the 3G band has been
years ago.
decommissioned years
Uh-huh.
ago. I mean, this is not an FCC approved thing. It's like, no, we're just shutting off the priority bid. That's all we've been rid of. They're not charging any extra. It's just, they're shutting off the priority bid.
One other thing
To
that,
others, not.
Aaron,
Gather people.
Right, just
Where
for that
this
one
is-
end user, is they don't shut the whole entire, the fleet off. They just shut the one end user
Yes.
down to.
If the deputy exceeded 41 gig, then he would be throttled back.
And-
Probably would do it.
yeah, what Aaron, I talked about, you know, what they're gonna be doing is running a lot of data, you know, what's gonna eat up that would be like videos and stuff, which are not gonna do. I mean, it's all merely, you know, 27s, 28s and stuff coming to the computer all the time. You know, through 911 and that stuff. So it's not gonna eat up a lot. They'll probably know it's shouldn't, because we're gonna put a policy in place, like these will work phones are only for work. I mean, yeah, you're not gonna take them home and watch a YouTube video. You're not gonna get on there and watch a movie. I mean, we're gonna have to put a policy in place for that.
Anytime that we want to review them, they'll match them, they'll take them and.
Yeah, they'll be the
Their
county
personal cell
funds.
phone.
Understood.
Well, and if they start using a lot of data, you're gonna know that. So
Right.
Probably even good mistake.
One question I have is from the beginning is the priority. How are they, I mean, in their computer bank, are they listing all your numbers as priority? So if it gets too heavy, those lines stay on, but these people, normal citizens may lose some power. Is that what,
It'll boot them. so
is
you
that
can
how
actually
it's
see
there?
them.
Okay, so it goes by the phone.
Mhm. The provisioning against. the-
Well, basically, you know, in events where powers get overloaded, you know, sometimes people get throttled back and their speed will get slower. Well, that's what will happen to everybody else, but ours won't. We'll be at the priority,
So they'll know that. So,
which will be actually on a different band than everybody else.
okay. Anything else?
So for the benefit of the public, the ultimately, would you feed back into the 911 system and give them, they'll be able to see live where the law enforcement officers are located? Is that an ultimate goal or no? I was trying to figure out with the hotspot,
I don't know if it does that capability, but I do know like they have a laptop in the car,
Uh-huh.
and 911 send a call with all the directions right there to them. So
Pop
they
right
don't have
up.
to keep
Okay.
asking. All that information on that call will be right there.
Okay.
But that question, I'm not 100% sure about that. If 911 would be able to see that.
I know they have the capabilities. I just didn't know if that was
Right.
your goal with this, at some point in time now, later, whatever that thing is. Because then I'm thinking database, you know, if you're constantly updating, it's not a lot, but.
Well, I mean, they
you
could probably
update.
send them a text, right? And then that would lock them into what they are, send them a text.
Yeah, I was just looking at bandwidth on that.
Anything else? How do we proceed?
I've been asking legal counsel and the clerk, because this is a subscription, not just an upfront one-time cost. If we take it for the annual cost, we can take that number and consider that the contractual amount. Because after $15,000, you have to bid it out. Which, so if we're going with the Connecting Heroes Advanced,
Looking at 1 year comment.
two times 12. Whoa,
12 times 570.
86, $7,200.
yeah, so I believe we're within compliance. Would you agree with that? Yeah. And we have received 3 bids, so I appreciate you all receiving, collecting those.
It's just phone, right? No chargers, no earpieces, nothing like that. None of the accessories, just a charger. We have to purchase, you know, like a phone case. Did you guys currently have something in the cars to actually hold the phone? Okay,
We don't.
so be some accessories we need to commit as well.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
That's a good aspect. We
Which-
didn't actually discuss that. We were thinking about that.
Typically, they give
You're
you
right.
a good discount on,
Oh, yeah.
on accessories.
Which that'd be good,
What'd you know?
probably out of equipment budget line.
You can get those little magnetic things that stick up after home, nothing, 16, 18 bucks.
Yeah, it's not even close to 15.
All right, do we have a motion on the floor to increase the sheriff's budget by $6,854.40 to enter into a yearly contract with T-Mobile for the upgraded cell service needed for the officers?
Is that motion good for you? Okay. Yes, I'll make that motion.
Motion's on the floor, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Y'all reminded let Miss Griffin know to come in. She's standing outside there.
Adam Sutler.
There you go. Oh, sorry. We can be this way.
So do we not have a meeting?
Good morning.
Have to have it later.
We do not.
You don't have.
Yes, you can have mine.
I didn't have a chance to do those dates yet.
Mhm.
So I have it a little bit later today.
We have last year's.
Yeah, last year.
We do.
Okay.
Do you have the minerals, when the minerals are gonna be done?
I never got back with me.
Well,
I
Ernie said,
emailed Lori this morning,
should you respond back?
not
Not yet.
unless I run down there and go check my email. I know your email said the 13th or the 14th,
Right,
Thank you very
either
Right.
10 or 1,
Yeah.
right?
right. Yeah. So you
Yeah,
want us to
we-
come back?
We want to
Ma'am?
adjust the agenda and
Sure.
come back.
Yeah, we don't have much to play. We have the upstairs at 11
Oh,
o'clock.
um,
Is this something that couldn't wait until next meeting or?
no, because we have to publish the dates.
Can you have something and be back here at 10:30?
Sure.
It'll only take us 10 minutes more.
How do you?
Oh, okay, so I just gotta get the dates worked out. Yeah.
Yeah, come back at 10.
Yeah, if you want
10? Okay.
Please
to make a motion to amend the
Wait a
agenda.
minute, better make it 10:15 because it's almost.
Well, just holler at us.
Okay,
Yeah. Come holler.
thank you.
Come on. Well,
I'll move to amend the agenda for Assessor Betty Griffin, set Board of Review and Equalization dates to 10:30,
10:15.
10:15.
Motion's on the floor, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay, the next item on our agenda is the third reading of the following ordinances to be motions taken by the commission. Nicholas County Property Safety Ordinance, the Nicholas County Land Reuse Agency. We have a motion to waive the reading of these two ordinances.
I'll make that motion.
Motion's on the floor. Any, all in favor? Any
Aye.
discussion?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, we have a,
I do one at a
Motion?
time.
Yep. One at a time.
do we have a motion on the Nicholas County Property Safety Ordinance of how to proceed from this point?
I personally would like to do this two ways. I like to do it the official way. So I guess you'll call for a motion 3 times. There'll be no answer to that motion, which means it dies on the vine. And then we'll customarily, or whatever you call it, come back around and we'll actually vote no on those. Or we do it in the proper procedure and in a procedure that's understood by the general public. So Commissioner Chapman's going to ask for a motion 3 times. We're not going to make those motions. Or we'll see if a motion comes out and it dies, which means those are dead. That's parliamentary procedure. I believe that's correct. And then secondly, we'll come back around and we'll vote no on each of them just so you guys fully understand what's happening. Or vote on each of them.
Okay, is there a motion to be made on the passing of the Nicholas County Property Safety Ordinance? No motion? I ask again, is there a motion on the floor to be made on the passage of the Nicholas County Property Safety Ordinance? The third ask. Is there a motion to be made on the Nicholas County Property Safety Ordinance? There is none. This dies as of this month for lack of motion.
I also would like to make a motion to reject the Nicholas County Property Safety Ordinance as proposed.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Same sign. So it has not only died due to no motion, but a new motion was made to vote in the negative for the Nicholas County Property Safety Ordinance. Is there a motion on the floor for the Nicholas County Land Use Agency Ordinance? No, I ask again, is there a motion to be made on the Nicholas County Land Use Agency? Reuse Agency? None for the third time. Is there a motion to be made on the Nicholas County Land Use Reuse Agency? There is no motion to be made. This dies as of this vote. Is there any other emotions?
Make a motion that we reject the Nicholas Land County Reuse Agency.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor to reject the Nicholas County Land Reuse Agency. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The motion has carried. The land use and property safety are now dead issues. As they were.
Would you allow for discussion a little?
Pardon me?
Would you allow for discussion a little?
Sure.
Yeah, I think there's just a lot of misunderstanding. We have a process we have to go through whenever we take up something like this. We were asked to consider this in RGRD, didn't write the ordinances. We took them from other counties, so on and so forth. We repeated ourselves 30 times now. I was willing to look at it, and I think we all were willing to give it a chance. It was explained to us, falling over houses and trash dumps. And once we found out what these other ordinances included, what we were concerned about, what we could or couldn't take out, it started out here and it kept getting like yes, and my vote fell off the table on both sides. And I apologize to the other 2 commissioners. I was the first one to jump the gun and share my not voting for these well before the hearings. But accusations and so forth and everything still continued, and that's okay. That's part of the process. But once I saw what all it was, I was against it. It didn't make sense to me. My grandfather was a farmer, and he always told me when I was running for commission before he passed away, he said, never let them, or never you, as I was running, I should say, consider zoning. And really, once we got the full gamut of this, I feel like this was too close for zoning for my own comfort, and that's why I voted no.
We were elected representatives of the public, as we were reminded, and as I take this position very seriously. And the public spoke, and we definitely have to represent what we're told and the input that we receive. I do think we need to work on the abandoned and dilapidated structures that are uninhabited, are vacant. There's a lot of lessons learned moving forward. We will seek out a PA system, an intercom system for any time we have any sort of large meetings. We are looking and exploring ads in the paper on a bi-weekly, which will run about $3,800 a year. Weekly would run $7,600 a year. So I'm just going to call it $4,000, $8,000 a year. We are exploring that. We are going to be in the process of uploading our meeting minutes and our agendas. That way you can go back and do searches on those on our website. We're going to update our website, and we're going to do the best we can to communicate out. There's been some options or some requests for talk about live streaming. And I try to explain this. If you guys want to sit and listen to us when we're talking on breaks, I have absolutely no problem with that. So we're going to do the best we can to move forward on our level of transparency and keep the public informed on what's happening. Like we said, there is a procedure takes place. You have hearings. The hearings allow the public to speak. And we will definitely make sure we do our due diligence on those aspects, or I will. I can only speak for myself. I think I speak as a commission that we move forward with, more transparency or more options to read. What I have learned in the past, being on in many aspects of my life over the past 6 or 8 years, no matter how many ways you advertise the information out, somebody's still going to say there was something that you missed. If we have a hearing at 7 o'clock in the morning, they'll say they can't be there at 7 evening. If we have it at 7 in the evening, they'll say they work the evening shift. So we're going to, we can do our due diligence, but there'll be somebody that feels like they're left out. They don't read the newspaper. They don't have a Facebook page. So we can try to cover all the bases. And that's my goal, is to attempt to cover everything that we can. That way information is disseminated out and you hear that firsthand. So the meetings will still remain at 9. We're exploring a couple of town hall sessions that will take place in the evening. We are governed by state statute and the Open Meetings Act as far as what we can say and what we can do. Somebody's beeping on it. It's not me. So I'm going to make some comments along that thing. I do think that we need to work on the vacant, voluntary, dilapidated structures and have those torn down as a partnership with the homeowner. And that would be basically the odd thing about that is it's not us pulling that trigger. It's the homeowner or the property owner pulling that trigger and then proving that they actually have say over that property and that they have the authority to allow that to be torn down during partnership. As you heard previous Commissioner Lyle Neal say, he would be willing to work on structures like that and even donate $500 to $1,000 of labor per structure. So, hopefully through that type of partnership and some sort of contract that we can enter in database properties, that we can, there's 10, I think, between the Webster County line and the Mudley Split that literally are falling in on each other. So if anything's living in it, it's probably a rat or a raccoon, not a person. That's all I've got.
I've got one more comment. If it's not voluntary and if it includes any talk of taking the property, I'm not for it, period.
Yep. We want a partnership. If we take property off the tax rolls, that's not good for us. So we want that in the hands of a resident, not the county.
The only thing I would say is thank you for the people that did show up and
Yes.
talk to us. That's what it's all about. We welcome that. It might look like we were, not, but we accommodated for it. Did we feel uncomfortable? Of course, everybody would. But we do thank everybody for that. I did take a poll of everyone who spoke. The majority of the people spoke were for cleaning up the county if it weren't a poorly written ordinance. So just to make that clear, there were a few that were absolutely against it no matter what, but the majority were actually, if it was better written, if it was better done. But like I said, we thank everybody. The money in order to get state and federal money, we do have to follow by an ordinance. We have a former delegate here now. Is that true? That if we don't follow the way by the ordinance, we base this ordinance on what you guys passed in the state, with the exception of a few words that you pointed out. But we don't get to touch any of that money unless we have this. Is that correct?
I would say that that's actually false. You didn't base that on anything that we passed. What we passed permitted you all as county commissions to work with the DEP. So it would be up to you as a county commission to work with your DEP representatives to see how they have implemented some of the grant procedures. That would be more up to the state agency of how that is being administered. I know that specifically your land, your ordinance had in soil sampling that was directly prohibited from what the rules bundle stated, from the DEP that came out. So that is absolutely false. I would encourage you to work with the DEP and figure out how to do something. And I think voluntary is going to be probably the way to go if you choose to do anything with that.
It'll be all clearly stated.
But the funding, you still didn't answer my question.
With the funding, I think that would depend on how the rules are written for the DEP or what they have put forth. So that information would probably come from the DEP. The state did not put forth specific rules to get the funding that you had to do X, Y, and Z. So that is not true. We left that in the hands of the state agency.
Anything else?
Yeah, what would be, in a sincere way, what would be a way that we could get around? Let me find it here. I apologize. The code section that, the commission can enter private property to satisfy liens, perform repairs, blah, blah, blah. Is that a voluntary aspect of code?
It doesn't say that it doesn't say that you.
You don't have to.
You don't have to. It's
That's good.
just-
That's good. Okay.
There at your disposal. Really, probably you should have reviewed these ordinances that came out before they came out for the public.
I mean, if the other counties aren't code compliant, that's a liability a lot larger than this county. Because these are two ordinances for,
But you also have liability when you put forth something, a work product that does come from this county that you are responsible.
didn't vote for it.
I said responsible for it. I didn't say you voted for it. You put forth the work products that someone wrote. And you put it forth out under the county's name.
Webster and Fayette County.
But we live in Nicholas, so the Nicholas County Commission was putting that on their agenda, your agenda.
Anything else? Anybody got anything else? Okay, now at the request of Commissioner Cole, proposals for a maintenance contract.
Yes, of course, we had the retirement of Mr. Rodney McClung as maintenance supervisor. And we have had a new hire in that position. And I would just like to request, I did take it upon myself to speak to Mr. McClung. And he is willing to come back in an advisory role for a short amount of time, just to really show the inner workings of the facilities. He knew a lot of tricks and things. Of course, these are older facilities, and as we work on upgrades, we're not quite there yet. And we're still waiting on a lot of earmarks and so on and so forth to be able to accomplish that. He is willing to do so. And so it was just going to be my request that if the commission would agree, we could task legal counsel with preparing some sort of a contractual agreement, compensation, time span, so on and so forth, just so he can I kind of figured something along the lines of, actively be here during the standard working hours for a certain amount of time, check in after that amount of time periodically, and also kind of be on call for questions and so forth. And, we can't ask for that for free. So just something along those lines to be able to help the new maintenance supervisor in being able to.
Did he give you any clear path of would it affect his retirement? Anyway?
I don't believe
Social
so.
Security,
I don't believe so.
so many.
Yeah. 1099 position, nothing to do with insurance or so on or so forth. Yeah.
Can you wait just a second? Okay. Is there a motion on do we need to do a vote on this or wait till we see the contract? Can we just okay Mac to put something together with him?
For consideration. Sure.
Yeah. Okay, so we will table this to refer it to our council to put together a contract that's agreeable with Rodney and then go from there. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Sir,
On the property deal,
it's a done deal, sir. It's done. There's nothing you can say it's going to change our mind.
well, I just had a suggestion. A lot of these properties have liens on them. My brother has a little piece of property right beside his property that got $10,000, $12,000 lien on it.
can that property, the state's never moved to, foreclose or can this be discussed with the state as far as like auctioning that piece of property off?
Who has the lien? Who's the lien holder?
Well, it was put up for a business. And the guy foreclosed on it, but what I was gonna say was. My brother said that, could the state not take these properties and auction them off for what's owed on the lien? Because my brother said if it didn't have $12,000 lien on it, he'd buy it and he would clean it up. A lot of people would clean up a lot of stuff.
Well, I can't give you legal advice because obviously we have no control. But what I can tell you is go find the lien holder, ask him what he will take to release that piece of property and go there. You're a private citizen, that's a private company, we can't get involved. So, you can ask the delegate here what her opinion would be. So, but in my opinion, go find the lien holder and try to buy it because if they're not gonna be able to get rid of it, they might take $1,000 for it.
I'm not an attorney either. However, if it's a private piece of property and people are paying their taxes on it, then you have a problem that the state really probably cannot take that over. But I would advise you to get legal counsel, but
Yeah, that would probably just be up to
Yeah.
working with the lien holder if
I'm
they want to
leaning
execute
because How
the
long have they had?
force of the
against it?
lien.
It's been several years.
And there's probably interest on top of that, so now it might be 15 or 20,000.
Yeah.
So I would just go find the lien holder, see if they'd like to dump it, donate it to a church, they get a big tax write-off. That's probably the way to go. Okay,
Motion to recess until 10:30.
Commissioner comments, you want to do those afterwards?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, there's a motion on the floor to recess until 10:15,
15, sorry.
10:15, when the assessor will be back here. All in favor?
Aye.
Recess. As we reconvene this meeting, January 8th,
Mhm.
2025. On the agenda, we have the newly elected assessor. And we're here to set dates on the
Yeah, public service right there.
on the Board of Review and Equalization dates. Which right now tentatively, I guess you would say, the 31st of January is on a Friday, will be Beaver District and Richford Corporation at 9 a.m. On February 5, 1 o'clock, Grant and Jefferson and Hamilton districts.
Minus Grant. Where are you gonna put Grant?
That's where Grant is.
I scratched it out, I thought.
You scratched it out on the one I'm getting ready to read.
Oh, I'm sorry.
we have all.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
On February 10, Wilderness and Kentucky districts at 9 a.m. Tentatively on state's approval on February 14. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Pay your minimum taxes.
At 10 o'clock for the mineral hearings. The office will be closed, the courthouse, on President's Day, February 17. Then we will pick back up on February 19 for Summersville District and Sine Die, and Summersville Corporation and District. Okay, 1 o'clock.
Oh, and they have to be done in person.
And all of these hearings have to be done in person, no phone calls.
Or Zoom.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion
Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Any discussion?
with clarification in the motion, in person, no phone calls, no Zoom, please.
And in the motion, depending on the state, if the state can be here,
Yes,
that one may have to be changed.
yes.
Okay? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Is that good with you, ladies?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, now we move to commissioner comments.
We need to set our, I don't think it made it on here. We need to set our yearly, our 2025 meeting schedule. Which of course, I set up because of the holiday for January 8th and 22nd. But then however you'd like to set up for the rest of the year.
Well, we got the 19th because we did this in the afternoon, so they work out perfect.
So the rest of the year is just first and third.
That's February. So our next meeting would be,
Suggestion for the, 20.
the 22nd.
Yes.
Is that good for you?
Well, yeah, I just do first and third for the rest of the year.
Yep.
I can
So,
make that motion.
so, okay, make a motion.
I make a motion that the remainder of the year, other than January, the months of February through December be the first and third Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Month of February or January, of course, is the 8th, and then the 22nd at 9 a.m.
Motion's on the floor. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Now we move into commissioners' comments. Commissioner Cole?
I don't guess I haven't. Actually.
None.
Congratulations, my condolences. Commissioner, President Chapman.
Congratulations here. Condolences to the people that's got to watch.
Well, no, that's good. That's good.
Commissioner Roberts?
Got nothing.
Okay, with nothing there, there is a family drug court and drug court here, or graduation at 11 o'clock. Invite everybody to come, and no other comments.
Oh, okay. I do have a request, actually. Thank you very much. I request to enter into executive session pursuant to West Virginia Code 6-9A-4 concerning a contractual matter.
Motion's on the floor, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're in executive session. Thank you, Ray. Remain in the room, legal counsel, clerk Painter, commissioners. Okay, we're reconvening coming out of executive session. Do we have a motion to exit executive session?
Make that motion at 10:56 a.m. No decisions were made for the record.
Motion's on the floor, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Anything else from commissioners? There is one thing I would want to say, and no cameras here, but thanks to the DOT and the DOH and the city for doing a marvelous job in the last few days.
You have a question for our agenda. Need to discuss the Joseph R. Biden Jr.'s proclamation announcing death of James Earl Carter Jr. Are we gonna acknowledge that holiday?
Only if the state mandates us to.
I'll make that. Well, it's not on
Is
the
there a
agenda,
motion?
so
Yeah, okay.
I agree with that.
This regular scheduled meeting has come to an end. Any objections to motion to close?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
We will be having a weather update tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock state, so.
And we have a meeting.